For centuries, the Aghori Sadhus of India have been wrapped in layers of mystery, myth, fear, and fascination. Images of ash-covered ascetics and skulls have traveled the world, often without context, without understanding, and without respect for the deeper spiritual tradition that lies beneath. Today, we step beyond the sensational headlines to discover the real philosophy, the real discipline, and the real purpose of this ancient path within Shaivism. Who are the Aghoris? The Aghori path is a branch of Shaivism dedicated to Shiva in his most compassionate and fear-dissolving form. The word Aghora does not mean terrible, it means without fear, beyond darkness, non-frightening. To the Aghori, everything in the universe is Shiva. Life and death, beauty and decay, purity and impurity, these are human categories. Aghoris seek to transcend them. Origins and roots. The roots of Aghora reach deep into the tantric traditions of India. Tantra, in its essence, teaches non-duality. It challenges practitioners to embrace the whole of existence, not just the pleasant or socially accepted parts. Over generations, the Aghori tradition became known as a path for the rare seeker, one who is ready to confront the deepest fears of the human mind. Why cremation grounds? Many people ask, why do Aghoris meditate in cremation grounds? The answer is philosophical, not sensational. The cremation ground is a place where the illusion of ego melts, where the truth of impermanence is impossible to ignore. Here the Aghori seeks to understand the finality of the physical body and the continuity of consciousness. It is not about shock value, it is about facing mortality with acceptance. Daily life and practices, what they actually do. Media often shows only the dramatic images, but the daily life of most Aghori practitioners is built on discipline, meditation, and intense self-control. Common practices include long hours of meditation, chanting of Shiva mantras, yogic breathing, study with a guru, rituals involving ash, symbolizing impermanence, symbolic use of objects like the kapala, a skull used to remind them of mortality. These objects are not used for spectacle. They are symbolic, part of a worldview where nothing is rejected or feared. What they don't do, clearing misconceptions. Over the years, extreme myths have grown around the Aghoris. It is important to clarify these respectfully and accurately. Stories of violent or harmful rituals are either misunderstandings, symbolic practices taken out of context, or rare acts not representative of mainstream Aghori tradition. The majority of Aghori communities today emphasize compassion, service, and spiritual discipline, not harm. A guru-disciple tradition. Aghori training often begins under the guidance of a guru. The guru is not just a teacher, but a guide through intense psychological and spiritual transformation. Through years of discipline, the disciple learns control of the mind, mastery over fear, detachment from ego, symbolic rituals conducted in a safe, respectful manner. This path is not for everyone. It requires extraordinary inner focus. Philosophy, seeing Shiva in everything. At the core of Aghori philosophy is a radical idea. Everything is sacred. Nothing is inherently impure. This extends beyond rituals into daily service. Many Aghori-run ashrams quietly help people who are neglected by society, the sick, the abandoned, the forgotten. Their compassion comes from seeing divinity in every being. Misconceptions and Media. Popular culture, colonial-era writings, and modern media often paint Aghoris as frightening outsiders. but these portrayals usually ignore context, philosophy, and nuance. The truth is that the Aghori community is small, and most members live quietly, avoiding public attention. Why Aghoris matter in India's spiritual landscape. Aghoris hold a symbolic place in Indian spirituality. They remind us that spiritual growth is not only about comfort and positivity. It is also about confronting fear, ego, and the darker corners of the mind. They embody a path of acceptance, even of what society rejects. Reflection. The real life of an Aghori is not about horror or shock. It is about dissolving fear, embracing the fullness of existence, and finding Shiva in everything. When we look beyond the myths, what emerges is a profound, contemplative path, one that challenges us to rethink what we fear and what we consider pure or impure.